Hey, there we
What it
go.
is? We on?
We on, my
What
boy.
it is,
What's
my
good
boy?
with you?
What it is with you?
Oh man, I'm better now, my boy. Better now, man.
Yes,
How you
sir. Oh man, I just chill, brother. I just chill. Yes,
doing?
sir.
There you go. Well, man, hey, man. Well, you know we gonna get it shaking, man. I know you got things to do. You feel me? You're a busy man. You got a lot of things to do. It's a Friday night, so of course, you know, thank you for coming. You
No
feel me?
problem, brother.
Thank you for coming, bro. I know you got things to do. I know you're a very busy person, but you know what I'm saying. For you to grab you a little bit of time, we gotta have a conversation. You feel me? I mean, go
Let's do it.
away, man. I appreciate you looking out.
Let's do it.
All right, see no more. See no more. So, man, for those who don't know, man, it's the people that's following us, the he said, she saiders. You feel me? Y'all already know. I mentioned my boy before. Y'all see the hoodie. I mentioned the Hope
Yes,
Dealer
sir.
before.
Yes,
You
sir.
feel me? I mentioned them before. I mentioned them last season. It's a new season. So you our first guest of the year, bro. You our first
Oh,
guest
that's
of the year.
big.
And
That's big.
just to pop it off, man, I already told you, man, first off, he sells apparel. And that's only just any apparel is his apparel, right? He's a philanthropist, man. He's an HBCU graduate first and foremost.
Shout out to Morgan, baby.
Shout out to Morgan. You see the flags, you see the apparel, you see us. You know what I'm saying? And he's a black father, he's a black man. You know what I'm saying? My boy, my brother, Marcus Brown, man. The Hope Dealer, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta give me some sound effects in here.
Right,
You
right,
feel
right,
me?
right.
We gonna get some sound effects. When we on Revolt TV, we gonna have a crowd.
Right,
You
right.
dig?
It's coming. It's coming, baby.
But yeah, man, welcome, man. Appreciate you coming. And if I miss any,
Anytime,
let
man.
me know, man, and break it down to them again. Like I said, I told them that you're the founder. You are the lead, one of the leads for I Hope Mentoring. And I mean, let me know anything else. Well, any other platforms on this?
Right on the founder with Price's encouragement. You got that? I know it kind of frees that. But yeah, the
Yes, sir.
president of Hope Dealer
Oh yeah,
Mindset
yeah. No, I,
Corporation, which it stands for helping others with Price's encouragement. And then I'm the founder, president of IHopeMentoring as well. We have Hope in a Healthy Way, which is a kidney diabetes foundation. That's one of our newest ventures that we're working on.
what's it called?
Yeah, so
Open the
it's,
kidney.
no, it's called Hope in a Healthy Way,
Hope and
kidney
healthy.
diabetes. Yeah, Hope in a Healthy Way, Kidneys Diabetes Foundation. And we have IHopeMentoring Lawn Care and Maintenance.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
long hair.
we so those last two is something that we kind of working on that we finna be pushing out this year. And
Right.
but our main thing right now is Hope Dealer Mindset Corporate I Hope Mentoring.
Dope, and that's what I've been following for the past. I think that's the apparel I got on the Hope
The
Dealers.
Hope, yeah, so the Hope Dealer Mindset, that's where all this stuff stem from.
That's you guys. So I want to feel me. So I want to go back. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, you shouted out Morgan. I mean, everybody already know I'm a Morgan head. I'm an HBCU alum. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
You already know how you give it. You get hype.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's how we actually met, yo. So like, I think that was like 2011 when we met.
Mm-hmm.
2011, 2012. And for those who didn't know, you know what I'm saying, he's also an athlete. You feel me? If y'all go follow him, he got wheels. You feel me? My boy got wheels. So
The
we
Gap Sauce.
the first time we interacted was at the football Morgan State walk on
The walk on joint.
meeting.
Yeah.
And so it was something, I don't know what it was. I don't know. We interacted briefly. We didn't really have too many words, but I think it was something around us about to get ready to walk on, make sure everybody got their paperwork. And it was something I was like, yo, man, I really, like, I don't know, we must have had, I don't know, eye contact, or it was like a little situation.
No, I know what it was.
What?
It was my teeth. Because at that time when I walked on, I had all my goals in my mouth. You know what
Definitely
I'm
at the
saying?
front. Definitely at
Yeah,
the front.
so yeah, y'all call them friends.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, and then we just kind of linked from there, man. It was just one of them, like, we both, we just had that dog in us, and then
Right.
that actually transcended to the psychology, being in the psych department, and we seeing each other like, oh, that's bruh from, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, and they kind of linked like that, man, and man, what a link that was.
Bro, what a link it was, man, from
Yeah,
Orlando, from Florida to Jersey. And like I said, it
man.
was just like a instant like connection. Like, yo, bro, the thoroughness, the friends, you feel me, how you carried yourself. I mean, obviously we both dark skin chocolate brothers. So I was like, okay, this brother like me. You know what I'm saying? He got the beard,
Right.
like, hey, how about you like me, yo? And I think, like you said, we both majored in psychology. know what I'm saying? And I think from there we took off. Like we
Yeah,
we was kicking it heavy. Like even
very,
to this
very
day.
much so.
That was
Yeah,
that was 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. So
crazy.
take me back there, right? So that time we first met, where was your mindset at? Because I know, like I said, that was 10 years ago. You're about to start Morgan. You're trying out for the football team. Were you a psychology major back then? Where were you at, just like in your mind?
I was actually around that time I was coming into the psychology thing because when I first got to Morgan, I came in with a degree.
Right.
That's when I had got my network information systems. So when I got to Morgan, they had me on information science and systems. That was supposed to be my degree,
And you
but
had
I
your
was doing
associates, right?
yeah, I had my associates.
Where'd
So
you get that at?
I'm Test College up there on Townsend, Maryland.
Okay, so you was in Baltimore already. Okay.
Yeah, I was in Baltimore already, so it was like I had got to Morgan, and it's one of those things like I wasn't comfortable with the 2-year degree, so I'm like, let me just see what this, and it was crazy because I wasn't from Baltimore, I just moved up there, but I had met people, in the neighborhood and stuff like that.
Right.
So when we would leave tests, they were like, bro, let's go to Morgan and
Mm.
walk around. So I'm like, bro, I ain't with just kind of walking around, and you know what I'm saying? Like they was
And
on
when did
that
you
trying to
first
go.
get to?
Say it
When did you
again?
first go? When did you first get your associates? When did you first come to Baltimore?
Oh, so okay, well, we'll go back there then. All right,
Right.
so I actually moved to Baltimore in 2007.
Okay, so you
And,
was already up there like 4 years before we even met.
oh yeah. I got there in 2007. I got there in August. I
Right.
started Test College in October of
Okay.
2007, and I graduated in 2009. 2009. Then I started Morgan.
Nice.
And so when I got, like I said, they would, oh, let's go to Morgan, oh, holler at women and all that. And I'm like, bro, to me, that was kind of lame. Like, bro, I ain't finna go up to this school and walk around and then it's like, I don't go here.
Right.
I'd
Right.
rather
Right.
be a student here. So
Right.
I ended up enrolling. Like, man, I'd rather be a student. So I ain't like I can you move my son right here. I put his face in the camera. That's my boy.
What's up,
Come
good?
say hey,
What's
Mason.
up,
Yeah,
Mason?
come
What's
say
up,
hey.
Mason?
Say
What's
what's
up,
up.
Mason?
He on
Do
the
it for
play. Say
Mason.
what's up.
Yo,
Say
we
what's up.
spoke you into existence, man. We spoke you to
Yeah.
existence. Beautiful. Look at that black father, man. Got his kid with him.
Yeah, my
Beautiful.
guy.
I love to see it. Love
So
to see it.
so I got the Morgan and whatnot.
Mm.
I graduated 2009 with my degree in network information systems. So I got the Morgan, and I was doing the information sciences systems, but it wasn't nothing I was really feeling. I didn't like math at all.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, let me go to business.
Mm.
So then I switched to business, and I actually got inducted into the Earl G. Graves School of Business at Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah, I got inducted in that. And wasn't feeling that joint because it was still that actually went to more math, you know what I'm saying, with business and stuff.
Okay. You was taking the 401s and the
Yes,
301s.
I went on that, man. I'm like, nah. So it was even a point where I had to pay. Well, I didn't pay. I was fixing computers because remember I had the network information system degree.
Right.
So my math professor, he needed his laptop fixed. So I kind of did one of them swap joints. Like, look, man, hey, if you help me out with this grade, I'll fix your laptop for free.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's the hustle of you, bro.
But he ended up like he paid me and gave me the grade. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but I didn't want to continue on that route, so I ended up jumping into psychology. And then, when I got to psychology, I found out that was where I needed to be at and what I was trying to do in my whole transition, and me trying to reach back out to people. So that's how I kind of got to the psychology department and gravitated towards that route.
Right. Similar. So like I said, like even when I met you, you was already into psychology. You was already taking psychology classes. I got there in 2008, and I was a freshman. I'm fresh, new to Baltimore, fresh out of Jersey. And again, one of the things I'm like, okay, like he looks like me, he moves like me. Yo, that's gonna be bro. We end up popping off as a friendship. And you rock it with psychology. What was the main thing that you fell in love with or that attracted you to psychology?
People. I'm so good. I love people, and I always dealt with people, and I dealt with them, just who they were. And then, of course, when you're in the streets, you deal with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And you deal with a lot of different emotions of people because of the drugs and all that stuff that come along with that street life.
Right.
So psychology was something that could help me deal with people better, and then it could also help me understand like what I had going on in my own life and trying to figure that stuff out. So, and then I didn't have to do a lot of math. I could write a paper though. So I'm like, man, psychology is the wave. Boom. So I was just kind of on that route.
Yo, sounds just like me. Same thing. I wasn't great in math. Great with people, and I think that was another thing I peeped from you too. Like, okay, like he moved like me. Like you know how to charm. You know what I'm saying? You know how to conduct yourself militantly. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the brothers, you feel me? You always moved. You always moved. What they do? It's time to play. It's time to play, bro. I'm home from school.
Right, my guy.
But nah, yeah, like I just love how that was. It was a great transition for you. And you just mentioned like being able to adapt it to or even connect it to your life, what you had going on at the time, and then how you were able to deal with the people in the streets. So like what you mentioned streets, you mentioned drugs, like, and that's one of the even bigger things I respect about you. Like you're so transparent. I think like as soon as we met, you know, you learned from me, I learned from you. You know what I'm saying? You coming up from down south, you know, things are faster. And you know, just you being older than me at the time, you know what I mean, you stealing me, you telling me different things, and you know what I mean, I think we talked about some beer ointments or something, but like when it comes to the streets and things that you did back then in the day, because obviously that was before you came to Baltimore to get your.
See, I told you I got screwed. You.
I'm listening.
Right, and that was before you came to get your associates out in Baltimore. So like, tell me how that was. Like, tell me how you grew up. What was the culture like in Orlando? Right, you were born and raised in Orlando.
Yeah, born and raised in Orlando. So the culture was like, sit over there, booby. So the culture was more or less like, you know, it's Florida, man. It's sun, it's good. But my background more or less came up in, I guess, what you want to consider poverty and the whole, you know, low income neighborhoods. You know,
What
real
part of
rich
Orlando is
drugs.
this? Because a lot of people think just Disney World. Because that's what I
Oh
kind of went to
no.
when I first. When I'm like, okay, Disney World. Okay, what I'm saying, what's bad about Orlando? Like,
No, I
what
mean
part of
it ain't. I grew up in Mercy Drive, Florida.
Mercy Drive, Florida.
Yeah, Mercy Drive, Florida, man.
Okay.
That's the city inside of Orlando,
Mercy,
what I
shout out to
call it.
Mercy. You heard?
But no, I grew up over there, man. It was just one of those situations where, like, my mom and my dad, they was both in my life. You know, my dad just died, you know, on Good Friday last year or whatnot, but he was always in my life. But he was like, he
Rest in
sold
peace.
drugs.
My
You know
condolences.
what I'm saying? Appreciate it. He sold drugs, and then, you know, my mom, that's my queen. I love her. You know what I'm saying? My mom's still living, but she had, you know, a bout in her life where she struggled with drugs, with a drug habit. So you got one parent struggling with one, and you got one selling one. And so it was on that thing, like, you know, I'm not judging either one, but, you know, this is the world I'm growing up in. I had a lot of family members, cousins and stuff. You know, they was in the streets too, and they was selling drugs. So, you know, I was on something like, man, I'm going to jump out there. My parents always pointed me another direction
Right.
or whatnot. They always pointed me another direction, but it was one of those situations where, like, man, I'm going to jump out there and just, you know, just try it out.
Right. So
You know, I
they
mean, kind
saying
of,
that. So they
you
were.
know,
They pushed. They motivated you to do what? School. They motivated you to do the right things, positive things.
yeah, I mean, you know, it was one of those situations where they were instilling in me the right things to do.
Okay.
Right? But, you know, ultimately, they still kind of left it up to me, not saying, oh, well, we're going to tell you what to do, but you can do what you want to do.
Right.
But it's like you only can whoop a child so much. You only can punish them so much because they're going to get immune to it. And I got immune
Yeah.
to it. So then when I got of age, like when I was getting in trouble, I was going to programs. I was going to juvenile programs. I was in and out them joints, the juvenile detention center. My diploma.
So you was going
Shoot.
like 10, just 11,
Yeah,
13?
matter of fact, my high school diploma sent up there.
Right.
That same diploma come from a juvenile program, and
Oh,
that
wow.
led to that diploma from a juvenile program led to 2 college degrees. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? So
is that almost
I was
like a GED?
no, it's a high school diploma on it, but I had
Okay,
to
it's high
take.
school.
Yeah, so back then they had what they called I don't know if it's still around, the HSCT, the high school competency.
Okay.
So you had to take that. I had to take that, and I had to take the GED. I had to pass both of them. When I passed both of them, they combined them and gave me a regular high school diploma instead of a GED certificate. And I passed both, so that's how I got the diploma. And then, you know, when I graduated, I actually was the class of 2000. So I want to say, I was a year or two ahead of my class if I would have been out.
Oh, wow.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So I graduated when I was 16. I graduated high school when I was 16.
Oh, wow. So you
Yeah,
was
you know
already
what
in
I'm saying?
juvenile in the system, getting in trouble,
Yeah, I
doing
was
things
all
running the streets at like
yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah, I caught my first charges like when I was 13 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I had like robbery charges, strong arm robbery, and I did a little bit, well, I think like 26 months between juvenile and the juvenile program on that. You know what I'm saying? That was like the most serious charges I ever had in my life, either juvenile or adult, because everything else was just drug charges. it wasn't no more violent stuff. It wasn't no like stealing and stuff. It was just I jumped in the streets and wanted to sell drugs. So that's kind of, you know, the route I went with that. But that, you know, when I was just kind of, you know, that neighborhood, I'm pouring so much back into it now. But it was just, you
Right.
know, that's just what it was. You know, that was the way we knew, get in the streets, you know, grow your dreads, you know, put your
Yeah.
gold teeth in your mouth and get out there and hustle. You know what I'm saying?
So even
I don't know if we breaking up. You can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you fine. You good? You good? You hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good? You good? I hear you.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
I
I
hear
cut
you.
the
You hear me? Okay, I
Wi-Fi
can hear you
off. I don't
fine.
know.
Yeah, you was
Sometimes the
good.
Wi-Fi be tripping. Yeah, so
Yeah,
like I
no, you
said, it's
good. I
pretty
hear you.
much coming up in them neighborhoods, man. That's just kind of what you was on. That's kind of what you seen, and that's what threw me out there. So all of that led to me, like, when it got to a point, I was like, man, you know what? You know, I had seen a particular amount of money
Mm.
at a certain age, and then it got to the point where I lost it and could never get back to that amount.
How much you was seeing back then? Back then in the day, you running the streets
The
and
most
yeah,
when I was a teenager, I had $12,000. That was like when I say
easy.
a working 12,000. So that's pretty much
Right.
that's put up, and then you still got to, you know, you got money in your pocket. You're able to re up. You're able to do that. And to me, back then, that was a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
as a
You
kid,
was
yeah, that was a lot of
thousands.
money. Yeah. So, but then it got to the point where I'm taking these chances, but I can't get up 5,000, 6,000. I can't get up 7,000, 8,000. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get to the little 12,000. You know what I'm saying? And the times
Right.
had changed, so I should be able to get to that. I like, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and just like kind of walk away from it. Like it might be time for me to stop. So when I left, bro, when I moved to Baltimore, I had a one-way ticket,
Mm.
and I had a one-way ticket, and I flew up, and I had maybe like 450 some bucks. You know what I'm saying? And I flew to Baltimore. My uncle had a house. He had a 3-bed house with a basement. He was like, man, hey, if you really trying to change, you can come on up
Right.
and you can live here, and we'll go from there. And I
Wow.
mean, when I say I picked up and moved, I left with what I had. My sister, my older sister, she mailed like in a box,
Mm-hmm.
like clothes and shoes and stuff like that, and just mailed that up there to me. And
Right.
I started from there, bro. So
Wow.
that was that transition from pretty much me being in the streets and
Right.
never been to prison, didn't want to die as a result to the streets, and I did have a chance to go change my life. I had somewhere to go.
And
So when I
you
came,
never served time. You never served time.
no, 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 I've never been to prison. I've
Okay.
done juvenile time and I've done adult like county time, so like work release, you know, 3-4 months here, but I've never done like no year or I've never been to prison, thank God. And
Right.
so that's when I just left and like, let me just change my life, and that's how I ended up in Baltimore.
Wow. Okay. Because I was gonna
Yeah,
ask, like, what was that turning point for you? That transition point, and
I just got tired.
you just got tired of it.
Yeah, I got tired. It was like, you know,
Was it like a paranoia? Was it just like,
it was no paranoia. I wasn't running from nobody. I ain't had no pending charges. It was just like I wasn't doing nothing. Excuse me, I wasn't doing nothing, man. And I just like, you know, I'm sitting in, you know what we, you know, well, it's known nationwide as a trap, but I'm sitting in the
yeah,
trap house or whatever, and it's like, man, I'm trapping with a guy, and we was close at a point in time, you know what I'm saying? We're not as close as anymore, but we was close enough.
right,
But it was like I kind of felt stifled, you know what I'm
mm,
saying? It's like I'm getting spoon fed, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't up how I would normally be up. So now I got to come up under somebody. So it's like, you know,
okay,
they ain't gonna let you get but so far because
yeah,
they
that
know
in the
once you
pause,
up how you really go. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying? So and it's just like, you know what, I don't want to do this. And then it's like I'm still taking these penitentiary chances.
right,
And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it got to the point, man, if I go to jail,
You finna sit for a
I
minute.
can't right.
You finna sit.
I can't yeah. I mean not even sit. I probably can burn out, but I couldn't go get no lawyer.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So I might
yeah,
have
yeah.
them little seven
You
hundred and
take the
fifty
chances.
dollars, or yeah, I could get out of jail, but then it's gonna cost her. It may cost $2,500, $5,000 to go get this lawyer, and I don't have that right now. So it's
Right,
like, you know what, bro? I'd rather chalk up my losses, take what I done learned in the game, turn whatever I done accumulated, maybe a little, maybe a lot, but that's it. And
okay.
I left. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? And that
So
was just
boom.
it.
So you're in Baltimore. You're like, okay, so
Yeah.
let me go to school. You went to school, got your informations and systems. You got your associates in that. You came to Morgan, got your degree, and now that you got your degree, you graduated. And it's funny, even like I said, even seeing Mason, like once we met, you know, we was kicking it every day.
Yep.
You know, just having a good time, just being at HBCU.
Doing a podcast interview, call you back.
Yeah, let them know, man. You're doing something important, nigga. It's Morgan business.
Yeah, they trying to get us right for we going to the Magic game tonight, so they were just trying to get us right for that.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what
they
I'm
gonna
saying?
get. Oh, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I ain't gonna
No,
hold
you
you. Yeah.
good. You good, cause I'm finna honor this.
You're
I'm
right.
gonna
So,
honor this. Yeah.
appreciate it. So look, yo. So boom, you at Morgan. You know what I'm saying? You got your associates. You're in the midst of getting your psychology degree.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're doing something right. You feel like you're doing something right. You came from an urban neighborhood, come up to Morgan. Talk to me about how HBCU, Morgan specifically, benefited you.
But coming into the school, man, what a lot of people don't know is that when I first applied to Morgan, I wasn't accepted.
Oh, wow.
When I wasn't accepted, it was like I hadn't went through orientation and all, and then they told me that nah, you can't go here still. And
What?
I don't know if you remember.
They took your money and everything? You filled
No,
out your
I hadn't did the orientation. You know, you go to the theater, you know, to
Yeah,
do the
yeah, I
orientation and
remember.
all that. So I ended up doing 2 orientations. You know what I'm saying? And the guy, I think his name was Mr. Bozeman or something like that. He ended up, Lord rest his soul, he had passed.
Oh,
He had a
wow.
brain aneurysm. He worked in Montebello.
Oh, wow.
He had
Montebello. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, so he ended up interviewing me because they were like, you got to sit down with him, and it was all because of my background. So they were trying to make sure that I wasn't coming and gonna be on campus and selling drugs,
Mm.
which I understand. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit down and talk with him. He, pushed the paperwork through like, nah, he good. We'll
Okay.
take a chance on him.
So you
Mind you,
applied.
now
They
I
had to
applied,
run
got accepted, put me through an orientation. I went and did orientation. They sent me something back and said, no, you have to come back. You have to meet with them before you can move forward. You have
because
to
they
do
saw
another
what
oral.
they
They
saw
saw
that
my
in your back.
background. Not only that, now,
Right.
when I came in and got accepted, I had to come in on academic probation. I
Okay.
mean, not an academic probation, but I just had to come on whatever, some type of school probation.
Yeah.
So pretty much my first couple months at the school, my first semester, I just had to pretty much walk on eggshells
Right.
just because of my background alone. I'm coming in with a college degree and everything, but just
Wow.
because of that. So, but I talked that up. Like let's run it. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
ain't going
Yeah.
nowhere. So when I got to Morgan, man, it opened my eyes, man, because I was seeing so much. Even in Baltimore and that whole region up there, the DMV, what they call it, it's so cultured. It's very cultured. You know
So
what I'm
much
saying?
work.
Especially for us, it's so much culture. So when I got to Morgan, I'm like, man, this campus is right in the slap there. It's in the middle of the hood. It's like it ain't no, I wouldn't even call it hood, but it's just like it's not off in the county nowhere. It's like it's
Right.
accessible. So as I'm coming through campus, when I first got there, that's when I had all my gold teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at thousands of students, and I'm the only person with a mouthful of gold teeth. So I ain't gonna lie. At first, I kind of felt a little like, hold up, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
that
lie,
many
like
Florida boys
it's
out
new,
there, yo.
yeah. And it was Florida dudes that played on the
On
football
the
team,
team,
and
right?
if they was there, they played on the football team. They played
Right.
sports, but they weren't just
Right.
regular students.
Nope.
So I was kind of feeling, I'm just trying to feel my way, bro. But I also was kind of nervous, man, because it's like, dang, I'm here, but I'm an older student.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't coming in how some of these kids coming, they 17, 18, coming straight from high school and coming in as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a true freshman at like 24 years old, 25 years old. You know
On
what I'm
top,
saying? So
2008, 2009, you 24.
yeah, so I'm like, dang, man. But I like, you know what? Let's do it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
press forward. And I'm gonna always remember my English professor is Dr. Akasi. Her name was Monique Akasi, Dr. Monique Akasi, man.
Mm.
And she would always tell us her main thing that she taught on was code switching.
Mm.
And the code switching was how we can really as black men and black women, what you need, Ruby? Huh? Okay, I gotta finish this. So it was like she would tell us as black and brown women and men and women that we have to know when to use what she would call, the proper vernacular.
Right. Okay.
And so how me and you, we can vibe and we can have our conversation when it's outside of when it's just us and when we in our downtime. But then
Right.
when it's time to go, like when I have to go to a meeting, I may put on a suit and I'm gonna talk a certain way, and it's okay to code switch because
Right.
in our world we'll call that being a sellout or you trying to be somebody you ain't. But in
Talking white.
reality, talking white and all that. No, I'm just
Right.
talking like I got sense. So I
Exactly.
would be
Right.
a fool to go out here like right now today, and I got 2 college degrees, but still talk like I have no education at all.
Yeah.
So
Talk about education.
right, that always stuck with me. Like present yourself well. You know what I'm saying? It always stuck with
Right.
me. Like know how to code switch, know how to be about business, and then how the women do let their hair down type thing when it's time for that. So
Right.
going through that and just seeing how I was embraced at Morgan, the coolest thing happened, man. And this is kind of how like me and President Wilson got real
Talk
close.
about it.
Is because
Shout out to
man.
President
So
Wilson.
yeah, so
President
I'm kind of
David Wilson, the president, man.
shout out. It's for
Amazing
real,
things,
man.
Joe. You're
Best
doing
thing
amazing
in the
things.
land, man.
Word.
But how I linked up with him was it was getting ready around graduation time. So I'm like, man, like, what can I do? I had done, walked on to the football team. We did that. We tried our hand at that, and then it was like, okay, but I wasn't on no joining no fraternity. I ain't not shout out to all of them, but I ain't none of that.
Yeah.
And
Balance.
yeah, so it was fine, but I'm like, man, how can I what could I do to just whatever with Morgan?
Right.
So I wrote a letter, man. I typed him up a letter. And I'm like, man, President Wilson, this is my name, this is my story. And if possible, man, can I address my graduating class? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how that was I think I forgot her name. She did it, man, with the glasses, the short child. Remember she did she spoke for our class when we graduated. But I wanted to be that person, right?
Okay.
So his office and people, they ended up reaching back out to me. It was like, well, we can't do that. They already got somebody for that. But if the president would like to meet with you and discuss some other options. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So I met with this man, right? Met with Dr. Wilson, President Wilson, man, and he extended the invitation to where he would he does every year he would do a graduation. He'll honor like 4 to 5 students. Right. Mind you got anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 students graduating, and he will honor 4 to 5 students. Right. And give them awards and recognition based on their matriculation of how they came to Morgan.
Hey.
So he took my story and was like, man, I want you to be a part of it. Like me, it was like 4 of us. I know it was a lady, you know what I'm saying? How she had went through college with her kids and, struggling and doing that as a single mom and still making it happen. I think she had got her doctorate at that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, my story was pretty much, coming from the streets and being in that background and moving to Baltimore and all that. So I was able to get up there and speak. He gave us a pen. I haven't used it yet because I'm going to use it when I get like my office in my building. That's when I want to sign the lease on it. So I'm going to use that pen type joint.
That pen.
This is off the chart because watch fresh.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish this.
Watch fresh.
Okay. I see it. So, yeah, so when that happened,
shout out to that black father right there, man. Go ahead and be a black father.
So,
an active black father, man.
Right. It don't stop. Father's Day.
I love to see it, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Father's Day.
I love to see it because we spoke. You spoke about Mason when we was graduating while we were in school.
So while we was in line, graduating, we got people on the video saying do it for Mason. So you know what I'm saying? That's 6 years ago.
Yeah. Do it for Mason. Yeah, bro. Talk.
Right,
we was saying it. We was taking our classes, walking on campus, do it for Mason, and to see just the fruition just come to life, man. That's just super good.
No, you can't.
But yeah, I'm sorry. But you say you got your pen from David Wilson?
Yeah. So we doing all that. So when it was my time to get up there and speak, right? I get up there, bro. And so it was my mom there. Like my mom came, my little brother came. At that time, Mason's mom was there.
Yeah.
And all of that, you know what I'm saying? And one of my homeboys who was actually from Mercy Job, but he was living in Maryland, you know what I'm saying? So that was like nostalgic because, man, him used to be in the streets together. And he lived in Maryland and like he at my graduation. So that was just crazy.
Right.
So I'm up there talking, bro, and I'm just talking about my story. And of course, my mom there. So, I went to talking about her and how.
Shout out to Morgan. They just joined the live, too. Shout out to the Morgan Bears, yo.
You know what I'm saying? So,
they just joined the live, hey,
That's what's up. So when I'm in there and I'm talking about mom, and I got teary eyed because like that's a black mother, man, and I know what she had endured for me to even be on what I'm on, and not for her to see me walk across the stage and get my degree.
Right. That's what
coolest thing happened, bro. I'm up there talking. I go to breaking down. I can't talk. You know when you cry, hate crying, cause snot come out your nose.
I got the ugly cry.
You got that ugly face, right?
You got the nasty ugly cry.
But Kwasi and Fume. You know what I'm saying? He was in there as well. So he come up. You know what I'm saying? And when he come up, man, he embraced me like man to man, brother to brother. He of course he's older, so it was like one of that kind of like a father figure to son type thing. And he pretty much was saying how he understood what I was saying because his story was kind of similar. You know what I'm saying? So that meant a lot to me because at that time I didn't know how powerful he was and, you know, who he exactly was. And I just knew about Kwasan Fume, you know, NAACP founder, one of the founders, and, you know, those type of things like that. But I hadn't dug into it. So after that, I researched, and I'm like, dang, man, it's like, it just showed me a lot about Morgan as a whole. Because if you have alumni like that's still there, still pouring to it, and then he, you know, some people can take the high road when they have a position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't take that high road with that position and be like, you know, let me, you know, I'm gonna just sit back. He came and embraced me as a man, so I will always remember that. You know what I'm saying?
And you said he was the founder of the NAACP?
Yeah, Kwasan Fume, man. He big with Morgan, and he big for colored people, period. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So
He
boom.
on the board. He do a lot of stuff with Morgan.
So you just told me from where you came from, you was in Mercy, you was running, rustling, bustling in juvenile detentions. You end up going to Maryland just to get out the life. No plan, it would have sounded like.
Yeah, no plan. Just go to school and work.
You got to put, and then networking, godly networking, right? And then you're in a meeting or in a award ceremony with the president of Morgan State, the new president of Morgan State, and the founder of the NAACP. Okay.
That's crazy.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. So that right there, like Morgan gave me that. You know what I'm saying? Like Morgan really accepted me. They and they pushed me, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, in the psych department, bro, we didn't have a lot of males.
Nope.
And and then we were only pretty much, you know, our group of guys was the only black males at that. You know what I'm saying? So
right, me, you, George, shout out to Will.
Yeah, Will, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So as we doing this, it's like, dang, man, like I'm learning something. You know what I'm saying? I'm really learning something at this school, man, and our professors, man, they didn't let up.
Nope.
And I can appreciate that now. Then, you know, I probably said every curse word in the book with some of them assignments, man. Like, you know, but it was like, now as I look at it, I'm like, I'm thankful for what they did and how they taught us and how they put that pressure on us, because I see how I work now. I see how I do certain things, and I know I can constitute some of that or most of that to my teachers at Morgan, that whole lifestyle. So I love Morgan, man. Like I wouldn't have went nowhere else. You know, if I could suggest any college, I'm always pointing to Morgan because I know what it is. And I advise anybody who watching this, man, whoever gonna see this, whenever, go to an HBCU, man.
Yeah.
Go to an HBCU, man. Like it's exactly what it is, man. Like, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna be around people that look like you, that's gonna love on you. But the main thing, what I guess what a lot of people kind of overlook because they think of parties and just the HBCUs are cool, the education, man.
Fraternities
like,
and whatnot.
We got education, bro. Morgan, and I know our motto is growing the future, leading the world. And I know a lot of us Morgan graduates, man, we are growing the future and leading the world as we speak. So I can tell what they are doing. You know what I'm saying? We got the best landscape campus in the world. I don't think nobody grass greener than ours.
real quick, bruh. When I came in 2008, you know what I'm saying, then we had another president.
Wilson. I'm finna tell you.
We got the library. Earl
Richardson. President Richardson.
Yeah,
right? President Richardson. Yeah, the
bright skinned President Richardson. And by part, like you said, it's an HBCU. So I didn't know much about school when I got out there. I just knew, I got to get out of Jersey. Because I was, I was still always a student. I was always, I got both my parents in my life. But I was running the streets. I was getting in trouble. And I'm saying, being a knucklehead. So I go out there, but walk into class. It was a beautiful campus from not knowing nothing, but seeing the difference. But we had dirt roads. Don't wear your two fly sneakers on the way to class because they might just get dusty. You might be in class dusty.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how Morgan was looking to how it look now. Man. That quad?
Oh, the quad area? Oh, no. Nah. Oh, no. And Jordan still used to wear heels and stilettos, and they used to wear they finest outfits, yo. I'm like, well, how do you do it? It's the culture.
Yeah, it's the culture, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
And like you mentioned, you said one of your friends from Mercy Drive from Florida was out in Hartford when you graduated. How was that when you had to separate yourself from the people that you grew up with, for those who were doing, some of the things that you didn't want to do anymore, some drugs, being in the streets? Was there any difficulty with that? Was there any was it acting funny? You have to, what did you have to do to stay focused and persevere and get your degree? persevere and get your degree.
No, it's crazy about it, man. I actually was embraced. Like my homies, my hood, man, they embraced me. It was on one of them situations like, bro, if that's what you like. One of my closest homeboys, he had got killed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Named JR, rest in peace, Birdman. But man, him was trapping together when I moved. He helped me put my stuff in the car, and I went to the airport that next morning. But anyway,
wow.
he had told me, he was like, man, I don't want you to leave, man, but if you feel like you got to leave to better yourself, then I can't do nothing but support it. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of went like that because I had the potential. The potential was always there to do better. So when I was going up there, man, and, you know, my hood embraced me, man, and it wasn't always easy. So it would be times I would be up there and I'd be like, man, I got to call back home. Like, they would tell me, like, nah, bro, you got to tighten up. You got to stay up there because, you know, selling drugs and then going up there and having to come into a new place and, you know, not having used to that money. I'm not going to sell drugs, you know, walking to school or catching the bus to school and having to let that pride go and do all of that. And, you know, calling your homeboy, bro, can you, it wasn't like no Cash App or nothing back then. It was like Western Union. Bro, can you Western Union me a couple of MoneyGram? MoneyGram me a couple of dollars. You know, I'm talking about, bro, this talking about just to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, but my homeboys, they would be on it. And it would be times, man, in my early years where I would come home and I still want to be in the streets. And I'm like, no, bro, you ain't changed to do that. But I was like, man, I don't want to come back to Baltimore and have to call back and need money. I'd rather come home, make me some money. And when I come back to Baltimore, like when I be on my little breaks, I have my own money. But it's like, nah, you can't do that either because you're working too hard, man. And one thing, you can lose everything you're working for. But with my core of people, man, the people who I felt like I would value their opinion, and they knew all about my transition, they embraced me, man. So that actually pushed me harder because they looked at me like, bro, somebody got to do it for us. You know, somebody gotta show us in a different light. So when I stepped out on it, and when I continue to step out on it, it ain't even me I'm representing no more. It's more or less like this how we all look, and I'm just a byproduct of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's
and that's amazing too. I like how you said that. You said you know, you wanted to go back. Every time you went back home, you wanted to get back into the streets because you had to let that ego go. And I know how that is. You know what I'm saying? I was somebody when I was in Hillside, when I was in Jersey, and then I came out to Baltimore. And it's like, okay, you know, I can't go home. I'm talking to people back home. They telling me about things that's happening in the hood and so-and-so getting hurt, so-and-so died, so-and-so fuck this. And it's like, yo, I was that chosen person or one of those people that had to go out, go from Jersey, you know what I'm saying, get an education, come back and give back to the hood. And one of the things that you're doing, one of the amazing, phenomenal things that you're doing is giving back, right? So you at that point where you're at the ceremony, you're at the award ceremony, you know what I'm saying, you get embraced by the founder of NCAA, the founder of NAACP. He be hooping, he doing Euros.
My boy say he doing Euros.
He doing Euros. He give you hugs. But no, so you're there. So where do you go from there? Because I know you went back to Florida right after Baltimore. How did you know you were getting? How did IHopeMentoring start? How did you get involved with children?
So when as it was actually around, we graduated May 17th.
Yeah.
So it was around May 17th, 2014. So it was around, I want to say around March, April, coming up, leading up into that. You know, shout out to George, man, boy George, man. He actually he's the co-founder, vice president of HopeDealer Mindset Corp.
Yes,
so
sir. Shout out to George, my boy George.
Yeah, man. Me and brother used to sit in the library, huh?
You see, your character's tired of me because I made that character. I made your character tired of me because you're tired of me.
Yep.
Yep.
Ben, he on his Ben 10, man, on his PlayStation. So
hey, man,
that's what's going on. But yeah, so
he a happy kid with his father.
Right.
Love to see.
Yes, I met George. I mean, me and George was already right now. I met George. Me and George was already rocking, and we was like, man, what we gonna do upon graduation? Like, what it is? Like, I'm going back to Florida. I'm like, what I want to do, man. I don't want to just come back with these degrees. I want to be, you know, how can I give back? How can I make a difference? So we came up, like, we were just sitting in the library brainstorming, like, what we want to do. And I was, you know, telling George, you know, how I just want to kind of help people, like, telling my story. Hopefully my story can prevent them from having something similar.
Right. That
led to, shout out to my boy Mook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jones, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Jerry from Jersey.
Yeah. So I'm finna tell you how that goes.
Shout out to my boy Mook. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to Lyndon. Shout out to them
Shout out
Bears.
to Innovative Art, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yo, Jerry doing big things, yo. For those who don't know
very big
Jerry,
thing.
big
Yeah,
things, graphic
man.
design. Yo,
Big
quick
thing.
story.
Yeah.
Quick, yo, so he's a graphic designer, right? He's doing things for like the MLB, NFL, the like major people, major $1 billion companies, right? We graduate, mind you. He's a Morgan State Bears love. We graduate. When I took my pictures, I don't know, maybe I didn't have my chapstick one day. My joint was looking a little ashy, bro. I was like, I hit bro up like, yo, could you edit my joint a little bit, bro? I sent him my graduation pictures, my initial prints,
Right.
bro. He saturated the picture for me. He made that joint pop, yo. Shout out to Jerry, yo.
The
Shout out to
man
my
a
friend Jerry.
fool, like he a fool. He actually, because I knew he was doing graphic design, and I only knew him from the football team. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I'm like, bro, man, I need you to do me a logo, man. I gave him the idea, like, man, hey, it kind of something with, with hope or something. Me talking to people and helping them out. So the original Hope logo, he designed. So the Hope logo that everybody see, we 7 years running now. He designed that logo.
7 years.
And
2014.
well,
2014.
yeah. So yeah, 2021 started our 7th year. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So I hollered at bro. He designed it. You know what I'm saying? And we had helping us with prices and currency. So we got that. So our graduation came. You know what I'm saying? I moved in June. We graduated in May. I ended up moving back home in June. George ended up coming in July. George reached out and like, bro, I'm gonna come down there and do the company with you.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, let's run it. You know what I'm saying? So bro ended up coming down. Our first event we ever did was we fed the homeless. So it was like me, George, fiance Dana. Shout out to Dana.
Yeah, his wife,
My
right?
homeboy Marquise. Yeah, with fiance, they finna get married. He just proposed.
Okay, my bad. Fiance, shout out to y'all.
So it was me, us three, my homeboy Marquise, the Dirt Master, that's his company, and Maggie, which is Saving Our Daughters, and Bright Light Consulting. But at that time, we didn't have all of these companies, so it's good to see where we're at now too. But we all kind of linked up and was like, man, we just gonna go downtown and pass out 100 bag lunches.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we made the food. We went out and we passed them out.
You and George get your own money. Y'all put your money in.
So no, it was like 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
So she had like they girls made the lunches for us. We got the stuff or whatever, right? Passed them out. So I'm like, man, I like this, but I kind of want to do something more like not say organized, but more consistent. I don't want this to be the last time.
I got you.
So to kind of speed that story part up, this year January kicked off our 7th year of feeding the homeless every third Saturday.
Yeah,
and we do 2. Yeah, so we're doing at least anywhere between 1,000 to 1,200 people per year with just homeless feeding per year. That's because we doing, on the low end 100, on the high end 150 people per month.
Wow, that's a lot of people. 150 people, a lot of people. People don't give back to one person a month.
Right.
What's the last person these people gave? Some people don't give back at all.
Yeah.
A month.
So that's how that kind of led to that, and that's kind of just what we kind of been at with that, and then Hope Dealer Mindset was the parent company, and that led to people saying me, hey bro, I know him, or he went to school, or I grew up with him, he changed his life. Hey man, I need you to come talk to this young man for me, man, because I see you done transition out. I was like, I'll talk to him, I'll let him know what's up. And then it kept going, and people like, hey, can you mentor? And I'm like, I didn't want to be like, yeah, I mentor these kids, but I didn't have no space. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get them adequate time. Like I wouldn't, I might get somebody and may talk to them every few weeks, and I'm like, nah, that ain't good. So I'm like, I kind of backed away, and I would have 1 or 2 that I would just mentor. You know what I'm saying? And then
this is all for free. I'm assuming this is
everything for free. Yeah,
so you just give it because hey, there you go.
Yeah, we back. Hey man, listen.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know. They're trying to kick me off or something. You were starting to drop even more jewels. The government, big brother, the white man was watching to kick this off or something, bro, because he's about to go in.
The revolution will be televised. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yes, it will. But
yeah, let me speed up because I know I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon, so we can make this little transition. But what was I at?
Basically, you were saying how a lot of people you was mentoring kids for free. You just had a lot of people coming out.
Yeah. So when they was doing that, I'm like, all right, how can I get this structure? So, thank God to the city of Orlando, man. They had gave me a space at the Northwest Community Center, which is actually in the hood where I grew up at. You know what I'm saying? So November 1st, 2018 was our first day of mentoring. And it was me, one of my homeboys, Chris, and we had only 3 mentees show up. You know what I'm saying? Now, fast forward to 2021, we averaging 20 boys twice a week. You know what I'm
20 boys
saying?
twice a
At
week.
least 20 twice a week. We have a team. Like I said, it started with 2 of us. We have a team of almost 10 mentors.
Mm.
My vice president, who I started with, he was just working like a work from home, over the phone, computer, laptop type job. He ended up
Right.
getting. We used to have a lot of officers and stuff that come through and see the boys and interact with the boys and stuff. That led to him getting interested in law enforcement. September that just passed, he graduated the police academy. Now he's a deputy sheriff with Orange County Sheriff's Department. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So the
Dope.
program has the program has opened up a lot of doors for not only the kids but for our team of mentors. Like my guys, I love them as brothers. They don't work for me. It's not a situation where I can not call on them, they not be there. You know what I'm saying? We growing, man. This our 3rd year. We really rocking and rolling. We changing lives with these young men, and the program's still free. We just gonna try to get this money from the government, and we're gonna take these. 95% of our boys don't have an active father or male, for that matter, in their life.
95%.
Yeah, 95%.
And
Yeah, 95%.
I'm not, and it's unfortunate because I work with kids as well. So I just, how did you know that working with the kids is something that was
Yep.
good for you? You just felt like you mentoring actually helped out, like, and that's what kept you going.
I could relate because I am them, or I was them.
Right.
I was
Mm-hmm.
that troubled child. I experienced poverty. I know what certain things would draw you into doing other certain bad things. So
Right.
coupled all of that stuff together, I knew that, okay, this is what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I knew what my purpose was. I
Wow.
prayed about this stuff I was doing, just like how can, the giving back and all of that. But my nonprofit, the giving back, the toy jobs, all of that type of stuff that we do, that actually pushed me further into mentoring because my mentoring program has taken off so much further. Like where I'm at in my mentoring program, I wasn't that far along within my first 3 years of my first company, but I
Right.
could tell that was just the foundation to do this. So that's why it's flourishing so much. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I had to build a rapport. I had to show people like this is what I'm on, and then it led to that. So that's how I live now. Like I'm with
Right.
my
And
son, or I'm with these kids.
that's why I keep giving you your kudos, even with Mason. Like, and I love to see that he bringing the toy in the frame because being an active father goes a long way. I
Yeah.
often have conversations with people about the influence of black people or black teachers or a black person in authority. Um,
Mhm.
first person at the door is your parents. Having a black father to be there to guide you, protect you, provide for you. But then going to an HBCU, like you said, you saw teachers that look like you, you were students that look like you. And I'm saying
Mhm.
you being a child or a kid from Mercy, Florida, you're able to identify and relate to them. And one of the things I similar things, like I came back home, I started working with Rutgers, working with kids. I was a children's counselor,
That was
and
big. I remember you was at Rutgers. That
bro,
was
and it's
real
like how I
good.
didn't expect me to work with. I didn't know I was gonna work with kids. It was kind of just like something that just fell through. I met a guy. Shout out to Mr. Knight, and met him at my church. He linked me, and they fell in love with my personality. I was able to charm them. I'm saying? I had a group setting,
You
and I
good at that?
saw, hey, yo, we got something going on, bro. They must have liked something, but I saw the influence I had on the kids. And I had kids out of Newark, out of Essex County. I asked them one time, like, how many people have a father figure? Like you said, 95% of them didn't have father
Yeah,
figures. They
they
come
don't.
they coming in dressed like me because they see me with a suit on. They see I'm able to. I can listen to the same music, but I can also tell them the right thing to do and show them the positive ways to go about life.
Right.
And seeing that, like you said, it was kind of like you found your purpose. Like I realized I need to be here. You know what I'm saying? I need to do this. So, how many kids do you say? Is there anybody that pops up in the mind that's like, yo, that
Yeah,
really hit the
hold on,
heart?
baby. Let
That's
me
somebody
finish
that
it.
you can't stop thinking about. Any one of the kids that you had, or any amazing stories that you could think of that how you influenced the kids and how you made a difference in your community.
I mean, where do I start, man? With some of these kids, man. Because I'm attached to them all. Like personally, they
All
like I
right.
try to I
Yeah,
try to establish a personal relationship with every single one of them.
I know.
But I would say I could. It's one young man in particular, man. He one of the younger boys. His name, his name Trey. I call him Trey Wingo. You know what I'm
Trey,
saying? Trey Wingo. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't have the most. he doesn't have the best situation. You know what I'm saying? But he makes the most out of it. When I say it is the environment that he grew up in, and some of the things that he have to endure, I don't think within 2.5 years I've ever seen a C on his report card. You know what I'm saying? So it told a lot about it. You know, his clothes may not always look the best. His shoes may not always be the best. He might not always have a haircut, but his grades are always on point. You know what I'm saying? Which matters the most to me.
Right.
And that just says a lot, because as a man, we can sometimes let conditions alter the way we approach things. But he didn't let those conditions alter the way he approached his education. And that just said a lot to me as a man. Like, man, look, okay, if this young man can approach that you could do this in life in a lot of other various ways, man. So that just kind of, I would say Trey, man, like he's very inspiring, man. He tries, and he perseveres, you know, in education in school, and especially with their school is not like our school. They got so many different things and all of that. So it's like, for him to do that, man, it says a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna say my boy Trey Wingo.
Shout out to Trey Wingo, man. I'm inspired, man. I'm inspired.
Yeah,
so look, man, I
man.
ain't gonna hold you. I think you do. Could you tell us what's coming up next? I know we spoke offline about some things that you got connected with Morgan. You know, what's next coming up in Florida? Do you have anything outside of Florida that you're doing? What's next? What's next for you and IHopeMentoring, and what's the next step for you guys?
I mean, hopefully when Corona COVID, what I call it, when Corona COVID leave, I want to take my boys. I want to take my boys up to Morgan. I want to take them on a college tour, HBCU tour. But you know, Morgan is going to be on that stop.
Word.
So we want to do that. Hopefully, we can get that done this year. Like I said, depending on how COVID go. Event wise here in Orlando, man, you know, we just did our 6th annual toy drive in Baltimore. You know, shout out to B More. That was our first time doing something back up there. Yeah, we just did that in December.
We were supposed to get you after that, but you had the toy drop.
Yeah, we had to go. So we did 75 families for that.
Always give it back.
But I mean, I'm looking to do some up there at least once a year. I do an annual Crowns and Gowns event for Valentine's Day. So it's pretty much a mother-son, father-daughter dance. But right now we can't book the venue because of COVID. So we still kind of plan on that. Now the main thing, and I'm gonna just kind of give a little bit on it because it's real big. It's real big for us, for me and George, man. And I know, you know, when we do present it, I want us to do it together.
Right.
But we got something, and I just put like we got something big coming to Morgan. We got something very, very big coming to Morgan. Something that's been on our heart for a while. It will be released or not released, or you know, it'll be talked about or spoken on or presented this year. I think we're looking to do it around the May P. Clater Conference for the psych majors, something we're doing for the psych department at Morgan State University, man. So, you know, if you're a Morgan alum or you're looking to be at Morgan or whatever, man, and looking to be a psych major at that, you know, make sure y'all stay tuned because we got some things coming to Morgan, man. And any students at Morgan, man, that's watching this that go to Morgan now or whatever, we got some stuff coming for you all on behalf of the HopeDealer Mindset Corp. So just stay tuned, man. I just said like that. Something God is amazing. I say that. He's very faithful.
For sure. And brother, like I said, man, I want to give you your flowers. We talk all the time, and I told you how amazing you are. But just even hearing it now again, every time I talk to you, it's just like yo, we gotta give back. We gotta help people. We find our purpose. And even with the COVID, I've seen you still be active. Like I said, we were supposed to interview you a month or two ago, but you had the toy drive. I just spoke to you the other day. You was picking stuff up from Five Below.
Shout out to Five Below, man. Shout out to Five Below.
Five too. Y'all gotta give me a new phone case. Y'all see if you get you a phone with a screen protector, man. I need a screen protector.
And it's crazy. I got a whole box full of I think iPod cases and Note 5 or Samsung Galaxy cases for phone that I'm gonna give away to the kids and all that brand new stuff. They give me a lot of stuff, man. So shout out to Five Below.
Word. And like again, man, just shout out to you, man, for making this stuff happen. You know what I mean? Being the spirit and being the leader. You didn't let COVID quarantine stop you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I saw a video maybe a couple months ago. There was like a tying contest you had with your kids, and they was all in a group. They was all in the line trying to tie their ties. And I forgot what the prize was or what the bragging right was, but it was just. I'm like, it takes me back because, like I said, like. You have to learn how to engage with kids. Kids isn't always easy to engage with. Like they have to trust you. So being that you get 20 kids to trust you, to follow your direction, to learn and help and let you guide them is by far amazing. And the fact that you have all these great sponsors and things is continuously happening lets you know and lets people know that you're doing something right. So, brother, you're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're
appreciate you, my brother. It's all love, man. You know it.
Word, man. I appreciate you, bro. So, I'm wrap you. I know you got the Magic game to go to. So, let them know where they can find you, bro. Where they can find you. Where can the people hit you up at?
Man, you can find us on the website, www.hopedealingmindset.org.
Yeah.
Facebook, the Hope Dealing Mindset Corp. Instagram, Facebook for IHopeMentoring is IHopeMentoring. IHopeMentoring on Instagram and Facebook. TheeHopeDealer on Instagram, that's TheeHopeDealer. And pretty much if you follow me, you're going to get all of my companies because that's what I do. I simultaneously promote everything. I just tie everything together. So you won't see a lot of me, but you'll see a lot of what I got going on, and you can get pointed to those pages, man. If you ever looking to come out and volunteer with us, if you ever in Florida, you want to be a mentor, you're in Florida, and you watching this, man, or whenever you see this or however, man, got contact us, man. www.hopedealingmindset.org, hopedealingmindset@gmail.com, IHopeMentoring@gmail.com. Let's make some things work, man. Shout out to He Said, She Said, man. And real quick, I say that because
say it again,
I'm just sitting here thinking about the name and the culture that we grew up in. He Said, She Said was something that came with a negative connotation on it. You know what I'm saying? So now when you got He Said, She Said, it got more of a positive connotation, man, where we can actually speak on, it ain't gossip. It's real talk. It's real life-changing words, man. So shout out to He Said, She Said, man. This is only the beginning for y'all. I'm honored to be on the show. I'm honored to be the first guest of the new year, man. I can't wait to see when y'all don't surpass the Breakfast Club type thing. You know what I'm saying? Just stay on that grind, brother. I'm always be there to support it, man. For real.
You already know, bro. I appreciate you. Yo, for those who see you already, so y'all heard the man. Go follow He Said, She Said. Go copy you a hoodie.
Yeah,
go
the
copy
coming
a hoodie,
back,
man.
Stay tuned.
The neighborhood
man. Neighborhood hero, man. It's a neighborhood hero in everybody, man. Straight up, man.
Sir. Yo, appreciate you, bro. It's always love, man.
Yes,
You're
sir.
a brother to me. Enjoy the game. I hope you have a phenomenal 2021, better than any year it's been. We're going to link up soon. This ain't going to be our first, and it's not going to be our last, bro. So,
exactly. Next time y'all see me on He Said, She Said, I'm going to be in Hillside. Just know it.
Yeah. There you go. And I might be at Mercy, you
know what I'm saying?
Peace, bro.
Love, bro, brother. Y'all be safe out there.
Yes, sir.